Welcome everyone to our presentation on our upcoming visioning assembly called Creating the Future of Aviation. It's really great to see so many of you here. So what are we going to go through on today's call? We're going to talk about who I am, who Safe Landing is, why we're holding a visioning assembly, who this visioning assembly is for, what are the outputs and what are we going to do with the outputs, some information on what's going to happen on the day, and then talk about next steps. So who am I? My name's George. I'm part of the Safe Landing core team. My role is in workers' participation. I used to be, as you can see, I used to be an airline pilot. I flew for EasyJet before I left in 2022 due to my concerns about the climate crisis and aviation's impact on it. Soon after I left EasyJet, I took on a role at Safe Landing, as you can see in the left-hand picture there, with the rest of our core team. But who's Safe Landing? We're a community of aviation workers and enthusiasts, and our purpose is to connect and empower people so that together we can create a better future for all. And our vision for the future is that we want to live in a world where aviation flourishes in harmony with nature, and that the beauty of flying can be enjoyed by all for generations to come. So why are we holding a visioning assembly? As many of you know, aviation has brought massive benefits to society. It has connected cultures, people, connected families, it's boosted global trade, it's created millions of jobs, and has pioneered huge advances in technology. But aviation is at a decision point. It's now undeniable the impact that aviation is having on the climate crisis and on the natural world. And what we do in the next few years will almost certainly decide the future of the industry for decades to come. And currently there is no vision for the future of aviation that bridges the gap between the two dominant visions that we have at the moment. One vision is that of industry leaders, which is continued growth and a high reliance on speculative technologies and carbon capture to mop up the mess in decades to come. And then, of course, there's a vision that some climate activists and advocates have, which is an immediate and rapid reduction in flying, which isn't very inspiring for aviation workers. So what we're trying to do with this visioning assembly is create a positive worker-led vision that bridges the gap between those two visions and gives aviation workers something to aspire to if we get this transformation of the industry right. So who is the visioning assembly for? It's for aviation workers, be that pilots, air traffic control, cabin crew, baggage handlers, refuelers, airport workers, you name it. If you work in the aviation industry, this assembly is for you. It's also for academics and students who study and research aviation technology, but also aviation enthusiasts. If you're a user of aviation, if you fly, if you are engaged in general aviation, or you're just really interested in aviation and the future of our industry, this assembly is for you. So how are we going to decide who takes part? Our budget is limited, and the final assembly will have only around 35 participants. And at the moment, we've got well over 50 applicants. So we're going to go through a process of sortition, which is a process very similar to that which decides how juries are chosen. Essentially what we're going to do is look at the list of applicants and make sure that the final 35 participants somewhat reflects the diversity of vocations in the industry, gender, and viewpoints on what aviation should be doing to tackle the climate crisis. We don't want this to be an echo chamber of everyone that thinks the same. So yeah, as you see, we'll have 35 participants in the end that will hopefully accurately reflect the diversity within the industry. And the deadline to apply is Sunday, the 29th of June, 12 o'clock UK time. Shortly after that deadline, we'll be in touch with you to let you know if you have or have not been selected to take part. So what is the content of the assembly? What are we going to be doing? Well, we're just finalising the details of how we're going to, what exercises we're going to do and how we're going to create this vision on the day. But rest assured that it's going to be a really fun, engaging and creative process that's really going to get our creative juices flowing. And afterwards, we're going to come up with a report that will be published on our website and we can use to send to politicians and to the media. We're going to make a short film to film what happens within the assembly itself and follow a couple of the participants before, during and after. But most importantly, the vision itself is going to be put into a creative output, some sort of artwork that's going to visualize what this vision is actually going to look like. So we've teamed up with an illustrator who's going to be doing things like visual minute taking and then create a visual output of what this vision that we create together is going to look like. And with that artistic output and creation, we're going to take that to conferences like the Sustainable Skies Conference, perhaps the Farnborough Air Show next year, and create an exhibition that people, aviation workers, politicians can come and look at this really creative and innovative way of making decisions as an industry and what this vision of the future could look like to inspire people. And as part of the bigger picture, one of our ultimate goals in Safe Landing is giving aviation workers a voice in how our industry transforms in the face of the climate crisis. And what we would really like is for a government like the UK government or the European Union to commission an aviation sector-wide workers' assembly. And to get there, we are going to have to advocate for it. So a lot of my work is in working with trade unions, talking to politicians, talking in the media, creating content online, to further this goal of getting a full aviation workers' assembly. But in the meantime, whilst we're waiting for politicians to commission one of these assemblies, we're going to have to popularise assembly culture. We're still at the point where the awareness of workers and citizens' assemblies is not particularly high within the aviation industry. So we're going to have to work hard in Safe Landing to popularise assembly culture, popularise this innovative, deliberative way of making decisions and giving workers power to choose how our industry transforms. And this visioning assembly plays a really key role in part of popularising that culture. And if you want to find out more about how we work and advocate for workers' assemblies, you can head to our website at safe-landing.org/assembly. So, on the day, the visioning assembly itself is on Saturday the 13th of September between 10 and 4 UK time. It's in London. The location will be confirmed if you are selected. Unfortunately, we can't have people turning up on the day because we've only got capacity for around 35 participants. So we will confirm the location if you are selected. Catering is provided on the day. There will be tea, coffee, refreshments, and lunch provided for free. As part of the assembly itself, each participant will be given £30 as a thank you for taking part and have reasonable travel expenses reimbursed. But what if you're not selected? You can follow the visioning assembly itself and the output of our visioning assembly by signing up to our email newsletter and following us on our social media platforms. You can sign up to our email newsletter on our website at the link as you can see, safe-landing.org/sign-up. But you can also get involved in our Safe Landing community through coming to our community check-ins. We have these once a month. They're on the last Thursday of each month at 7 p.m. UK time. And you can find out more about those by signing up to our email newsletter. And we would really love to see you at one of these community check-ins to meet other aviation workers and enthusiasts who feel very similar to you and find out how you can get involved in safe landing outside of this visioning assembly. So what next? If you haven't already, please do apply to our visioning assembly. You can do that by scanning the QR code on the screen, or you can head to our website at safe-landing.org/visioning-assembly-London. And if you haven't already, please also share this visioning assembly with your aviation colleagues and friends. If you have links to a trade union within aviation or links to airport workers, please get in touch so that we can help you spread this visioning assembly and make sure that we can hear from as many different vocations and people from within the industry as possible. And just a reminder that the deadline to apply is Sunday the 29th of June, 12 o'clock UK time. And if you want to find out more about our visioning assembly and you have any questions about the assembly, you can always contact us by email at info@safe-landing.org. That concludes today's presentation. It's been really nice to see so many of you here. Thank you for listening, and hopefully we will see you on the 13th of September at our visioning assembly.